Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Jodine Ferguson, the Chief Designer at Jo Interiors, and I'm starting in one of our new projects that I'm super excited to share with you guys. It's a newly renovated kitchen and dining space, and it's also a private residence. Before we get inside, I want to give a big shout out thank you to my clients who chose me from Instagram. They said that they really love some of our previous projects, and I'm super grateful that they trusted us, myself, and the Jo team to execute their dream lifestyle space. So, before we get inside, here's a quick recap of what the space actually looked like so you can now see what it's going to be like. So to give you a quick understanding, this is what the space looked like before. Right off the entry, we had our matte finish herringbone tile that transitioned into glossy tile. We noticed this same tile mix pattern was in the kitchen area as well, which didn't really work well for the space in terms of enhancing the flow of the space. We also had this half wall that created this very narrow pathway between what we've now assigned as our dining and conversational area. Again, another structural feature that didn't really add to the flow of the space. So we're going to be making changes to that. Inside the dining room area as well, the existing drywall ceiling came down around the perimeter of the area, which brought down the height of the space, even though the center was high. That didn't add well to the space. Then we had the double door with the windows to go out to the back patio area, again just kind of creating another compartment, and the doorway to go into the kitchen area was only 3 foot wide, a very narrow pathway to go into the kitchen. But if you look closely, what we were saying in the beginning, we have mixed tiles again into the kitchen area, wasn't adding to the old aesthetics of the space. The biggest issue that we had in the kitchen area here is the flow of the kitchen. So we had the stove line section along there. We had a 4 foot island in the center. We have this structural column, which is actually a structural wall supporting the whole entire structure that housed the sink line. And on the opposite side, 10 foot in distance, was the fridge line. Now you're seeing these high cabinet units that was assigned as our client's pantry storage, which wasn't ideal or giving our clients the optimum storage that they need for all the items that they had in stock. So we're going to be enhancing that whole entire storage feature as well. Now, the first thing we had to do was to pretty much open this space out, because it just wasn't flowing in terms of giving you your ideal kitchen triangle for sink, fridge, and stove line. We have the existing coffee bar right there, which was a must to be enhanced or put back into the new design. So those are the features that our clients were adamant on. So the first thing that we did was we removed all of the tiles, because we're going to be having one seamless transition. We removed that half wall. We opened up that 3 foot doorway to go into the kitchen, turned it into 10 foot wide, making it larger, a big, more grand walk in. We removed the structural wall, but we incorporated a structural H-frame support beam to take all that weight. And looking glancingly at the floor plan itself, you will see where we had previously the door and windows in the kitchen. We've now turned that into a bifold window, and we've removed the door and window to the back patio and turned it into a triple slider door around to the back right there, completely changing the layout. This is what we call our structural game changer layout, guys. A good new revision look of the whole entire space. We've used oak panel cabinets, and we've opened up the whole entire space, have our dining, kitchen, coffee bar as previously required, and we've also had a hidden secret pantry as well. Now I'm super excited to show you what the new space looks like. So, welcome inside to the main living and dining area. But before we go on to the dining section, right off the entry here, we have this gorgeous setup display of a console vintage table. Hold on, I'm sorry. Before I get into it, I just want to give you a synopsis of the concept, the design direction that we took for this space. So, the concept is called La Charma Moderna, which simply means modern charm. So what you're going to find is that right throughout the whole entire space, we've done a lot of modern features with vintage elements incorporated through art and some of the selections of our building materials to kind of enhance that whole entire concept. So right off here, you can see we have this nice detailed vintage console. We incorporated our candle holders, a really gorgeous brass finish like mirror, and our very minimalist earthy tone plant pot detail right there. It's a really nice way to just walk on into the space, which is very open, airy, and free flowing, and has ton loads of natural light into the space, which if you looked previously on the behind the scenes, we had a half wall right there. It's no longer there. One of the approaches that we took with this space was to open up a lot of the walls into the area, raise the height of the lintel to kind of elevate, create a more airy flow into the space and make the space just feel completely large and open. Right off of our entry area, we have our conversational area over here. Again, as I said before, we did everything along the lines of modern charms with vintage elements incorporated. So we have our conversational sofa seating here with a nice cozy fabric, which is high-end polyester, which helps with the whole sustainability feeling and comfort into the space. I love this little coffee table setup right here. It's super cool. We have our decor pieces with our wall sconce rattan that we're using in a different format here. But I think altogether, everything combined really kicks it up a notch with a mix of natural materials, rattans, your vintage elements, the nice look of vintage lower console coffee table here, and we have our lamp detail here. It's a really good space that you can come, just have a conversation, dissect, let go of all of what's happening outside, and just enjoy what can happen right here in this lovely conversational living area. But if you get a little bit peckish and we want to go into dinner time, behind me is where you definitely want to be going. Now, what's a good space to transition from your conversational era? Let me tell you, this super classic, vintage, but yet very clean dining area space that's going to not just only give you comfort in the process of dining, but also a good little area to add to the whole conversational space. To get into the details of it, we have this lovely, gorgeous wood grained mahogany base dining table that is extendable. So right now we're seating six. If we're gonna be doing like Christmas dinners or other formal like function, we can expand this table out and have more more table space for food serving, and even to just squeeze probably another seating in there. It's a really good setup. We have our gorgeous lighting detail right here, our chandelier that's a crystal light that adds back to the whole modern vintage style into the space. I want to show you something though before we go. Take a good look right here. Every single detail in this space matters. We have this really cool light switch that's called Buster and Punch. We kicked it up a notch. We selected the option that had these little raised edges right here. Again, bringing in some vintage details, but in a modern way. And when you flip the switch, we have daylight right now. We can also have warm light. So if we want to change the whole entire mood of the space to give you a more subdued feeling when it's dinner time or just like a cocktail time, this space is set up with every single detail to make it really gorgeous for you and a good experience. But I know you're looking right here, and this too matters a lot. Previously, this was the actual vintage console storage unit, and we kicked it up a notch again with the same scheme that we were going with modern charm. We removed the footing from it, we changed it. We used a nice color that's called peppercorn from Sherwin-Williams. We added in these brass detail hardwares with this nice circular textured feeling and arcane webbing on the draw face to kind of
update it, but still give it that nice vintage classic vibe. And we have our table setting top right here with our the art piece. I mean, there's not much words to express with this art piece because it's just gorgeous. Every single detail combined into this dining space is well put together to not just make your dining experience exclusive, but to make the space in its entirety to have a very relaxed, calming, and as I said before, subdued feeling that makes enjoying your meals a whole entire experience. And that's not all. Because we've eat right here, it's only fair for me to show you where the meal is prepared. I mean, the kitchen is the star of this space. And if you know, the kitchen is one of those spaces when I just started designing that I've always loved because I believe that the kitchen serves your mind, body, and soul. And you have to do that in a really good, organized, well designed out space. So let's get into that detail right. Every detail that was designed into this space was specially crafted for our client's lifestyle. So you may see something and it may not occur to you, but we made sure that we specially crafted out every single section of this space. And let me tell you, there's one thing I can tell you for a fact is that I am super happy about this kitchen space. Every single detail in here matters, down to just a little draw face design detail. I mean, maybe to you that's not much, but to me as a designer, I can tell you I'm beyond happy and glad how everything turned out. So, just to give you a quick synopsis, the first thing is that we have this kitchen island. One of the things that was highlighted in our design consultation with my clients is that they have a large family. And when we opened up the space, we wanted to make sure that we didn't lose on storage. We maximized on storage, specialized storage for that matter, but we also created a really nice open floor plan that still enabled for maximum entertainment. So we have this gorgeous island right now, which is the biggest island that I've ever designed so far because we are going bigger as we grow. This is 9 foot long by 4 foot deep. I know on average, a kitchen island is usually only about 2 foot, but this one is actually 4 foot. We used a quartz calicata like slab that wrapped around from the top surface, creating a waterfall going straight down to the side. We've incorporated our smart features again down that side, and we also have another socket right on this end as well. We wanted to make sure, even in the process of entertainment, technology was available on all ends of the island because of how big and deep it is. But that's not the only good features into this space. There's ton loads more to go through. So before we go any further, just take a quick look at the front facing right here at the cabinet details. We have this gorgeous black and brass cafe double dishwasher. So that's a double drawer dishwasher. I know it's a really good appliance. The Cafe brand has been showing off these days in terms of giving us the flexibility for changing our accessories. So these handles can change just in case if down the road our clients feel like, hey, we want to kind of spruce up the kitchen space and just change some of our hardwares. I made sure to give them that type of free will in the selection. But not only that too, I just want to expound on the fact that this double drawer dishwasher, it's a really good selection to have in your kitchen. If you do a lot of entertainment, each drawer has its own cycle. So you can do a large load in the top one here, and you can also do another load into this one. You have different compartments, accessories for your silverware, your platewares. So this for me is if you keep a party, yeah, just pre-wash and put them into here and you're good to go. And I know I just said pre-wash, but we have this sink right here that's also 36 inches in width, a larger sink to enable a wider wash span into this space because we had space. It was a 9-foot long kitchen island. But again, even with our kitchen faucet selection, we have another little hidden secret. That's one of the things that we did a lot into this space. We created a lot of custom vintage details, modernized it, but kept it clean along the way. So you're seeing your standard faucet right here, right? Good. We can turn that on, hot, cold, but I want you to see something else. And look at that. We also have a water spout dispenser that's separate and invisible. You actually can't see it on the facing, and that helps with keeping it clean and just classic and still elevating the whole entire experience in the space. So we also have our cup rinser right here. Look at that. Another functional detail into this space. My client loves coffee and wine, so their glassware usage is really high. And I was like, what way could we make sure that water efficiency was good? And we incorporated this cup rinser to help with that whole entire process. But let's get back to this island detail. Separate and apart from that, we have our draw faces right here with a little special detail on it. If you look straight ahead at the top, all the top drawer units right here has this really cool beaded like bamboo inspired feature that also incorporates back our little vintage detail but modernize it. So alongside that, we also did oak finish on our cabinet base. They are inset drawers, so they actually line up in the framing and rather than face frame, and we did that because we wanted it to be more clean in the finish. Alongside that, we also incorporated under mount drawer slides because we didn't want to lose any inches in our drawer storage space. So everything is fully updated for optimization of storage and good functional use along the way. They all open out deep, large drawer units, giving you not only organization, but also ton loads of storage with really cool features. That's not all. We also have more storage along that side. Let's go around. So you remember I told you around there that we have ton loads more storage on this island? We do, for a fact. I know you're seeing these 3 seating area that's set up, but don't worry, you can actually add another seating because the island is 9 foot long and 4 foot deep. You can also add seating on either ends of the island, and that will enhance your whole entire capacity for entertainment. That's not the only detail. If you look down below, we've brought the oak finish from the front end to the back end right here along the line. We have our mitered edge shaker panel, and we wanted to keep it clean, so we didn't use any hardware. Instead, we opted for a push to open mechanism for these cabinet doors. So let me pull this away for you and just look. There we go. More storage again for my clients. Like, this island alone encompasses so much in terms of giving you functionality and practicality and a great space for entertainment in this whole entire kitchen. That's not the only detail I want to pull you onto though. If you take it a little step back, you can see right here that we have this gorgeous wall panel detail with our tropical fig right here. But this panel is the same beaded design that we actually have on our cabinet drawer face. The only thing there is that the scale of that one is smaller and this one is larger. Another detail that we do in our design approach is to kind of mirror what scale and size of the space to kind of enhance everything. Again, just a little touch into the Jouer life. So if you want to be involved in that, you can book us down below at jouerdesigns@gmail.com and subscribe and comment as we go along. So let me take you around to the stove line area, and I'm telling you, you know what? Let me not tell you. Let's go. Undoubtedly, the stove line is one of the most premium, I would say, the heart of the kitchen. Yes, The fridge and the sink serves a good purpose in the triangular design layout for kitchens, but the stove line, we know that's where everything is cooked up, and you have to have a really good stove to enhance your culinary experience, and this kitchen isn't short of nothing but the best in ultra luxurious feel. This is our Z-line range stove. I mean, it's gorgeous just in the detailed look of it. We made sure again to give our clients the flexibility if they wanted down the road to change any of the accessories or hardware to update their space, similar to the cafe double drawer dishwasher. You have that flexibility in the Z-line collection. Right now we have our brass knobs that gives this really luxurious industrial vibe, which ties back to some of the special features that's included into this stove, which, I mean, why would I hide them from you? Because that's what makes this stove line really good. It is a dual flame stove. You heard me right. The top right here is our Italian burners that takes propane or natural gas, and we also have our conventional oven section that's electric. The electric aspect of it, it keeps the temperature very steady, which simply means that if you are baking or even broiling, everything that comes out of this oven is going to be a really good top-notch culinary finish in your food. So again, just tying back with the whole entire entertainment scale, every single appliance meets not just functionality but also design. I mean, it's jouet. Additionally, I don't want you to miss out on another feature that we have. Come closer to me. We have the range, right? So it's gonna produce smoke and heat. So the next best guess is to have a actual induction range hood that sucks that all up. And we wanted to keep things again modern and classic, but hidden in a nice way. So watch me. Did you see that? Yes, of course. We have our hidden undermount range hood that's motion sensor. You can just raise your hand underneath it and it will increase the speed. You can also turn on the light, like every single detail here. Really, really nice. All of that ties in with just sucking up all of the heat, making sure that the space is not hot even in the process of cooking, and giving you that really ultimate ultra culinary experience. I mean, this kitchen has so many details, I can't begin to just expound on it. Now, if you take a step back, similar to our kitchen island, the draw faces design right here is also inset frame. We used white instead. This is conversion white from Sherwin-Williams. We wanted to kind of brighten the space, but make sure that the oak, the island itself, kind of stand out, but tied in a way. So we used conversion white with our brass hardware, again bringing in some of the rigid details. So we have it on our drawer faces and we have it on the handles over here, because our drawer faces are flush panel here, and we wanted to make sure that rigid detail was incorporated. So again, don't miss the details. That's one of the things that when you get from jouet design, the details matter along the way. And with that being said, take a look up. There we go. We have our integrated floodlight that spans over to this whole entire counter space and island space, incorporated with, if you want to turn these lights off, we also have our pendant lights on the island if you just want to do your basic cocktail, more kind of moody like. Each lights into the space have the flexibility for dimmable, so you can change them to 3 color temperatures: warm, daylight, and also warm white, which again, it adds to the whole entire aesthetic mood transition into this space. Separate from our kitchen island section, I know we said that we use the conversion white right here. Our slab for the baseline is also different from our island, so we made sure our island was like a statement piece in this space, but the baseline also had its own little pizzazz. So we have some grain variations on the countertop feature here. It's all quartz, so it's stain resistant and heat resistant, which adds to the sustainability in the space for our clients. And our backsplash right here, which is a really good feature. This is a Zeliche 4x4 tile that is a pearl-like finish. Again, tying in some vintage element into the space, giving it that classic, unique feel. So I love how uneven the edges of these tiles are. They are handmade, which makes it really nice. So I love the fact that they're not just a machinery straight cut. I really like how uneven things are. Rigid edge into the backsplash detail itself. We wrapped it around onto our stove line, and we also carried it over to our coffee bar backsplash as well. If you remember earlier, I told you that my clients love coffee and wine, and I was showing you the little cup rinser feature at the kitchen sink area there in the island. Guess what? We did a customized coffee bar for them as well. Down here, as you can see, we have our full coffee bar set up, and just like our storage unit in the dining room area, we used peppercorn from Sherwin-Williams to kind of bring back that same color palette into the space, mixing it up with our oak shelves right here, creating this like open space area. But they have the flexibility to can wash their own coffee glasses over here. We have our beverage cooler to also help with storing independent wine and cocktail beverage items. And we incorporated, again, some more textural elements or cane webbing onto our drawer faces, and the same brass-like hardware that give you this really groove detail with a nice little jewelry embellishment to it into our coffee bar area. Again, guys, it's all about the details. And guess what? I have another one for you. Right here, these are pocket doors. Look at that. I mean, coffee, wine, and tea, everything that you need, every single component, storage that's fully customized to their lifestyle, every area that maximize into organized and functional use. I love it. I mean, I probably make some coffee for myself after this because this has been a long tour, but I'm glad that you guys are on it with me. Other features we have into this coffee bar area is our faucet here has the flexibility to do a pull down. So if we need to do like a wider spread of cleaning our counter surfaces, again, we made sure that everything had the ability to kind of maximize on its functional use. Not to stray you away, but this coffee bar is really nice, and I made sure my outfit kind of complemented it as well. But I missed something in the tour earlier that I want to kind of give you guys a peek show into. If you remember clearly, we showed you that beaded wall panel over there with our tropical vibe. We have another wall panel onto this side with our art display set up into the corner right there. And you know what? It's a little bit of a hidden vibe, and we're gonna go inside. Watch me. Now, I think I was gonna end the tour, but I told you a while ago that I do have one more little sneak peek for you, and it's right here, guys. Remember our beaded panel that we brought back into this detail, and we also mixed back with our light switch, our buster and punch, little ragged edge. Inside here, what's that? Sounds like a little knock knock vibe, because it is. It's our hidden pantry door, guys. Walk on in. Again, a lot and tons more of storage into this space. I don't know about you, but I don't think my clients have a need for any more storage. That was a pertinent detail that they made sure to make reference to in our consultation, that they need ton loads of storage. We have optimized every single area into this space by giving them every ounce of storage that they need compartmentalized. Inside here we have our appliance garage, that we have our pull-out drawers. Again, if you look closely to even on the hardware finish, I love the fact that we brought in some more rigid details onto that. We used Oyster Bay Sherwin-Williams color to kind of give a little pop into the space, but if you kind of look at everything in its entirety, everything works. We have Oyster Bay in the pantry, peppercorn at the coffee bar, conversion white at the baseline, and or natural oak on the island. If you put everything together, it's one cohesive kind of monochromatic vintage vibe with a little sea breezy, which ties back to our whole entire Moderna charm vibe that we incorporated into this space. Now, this may be the last part of the tour, but it's not the last time that you're going to be seeing another project from Joie Interiors. So, before we go, like, share, subscribe, and comment down below what features from this kitchen that you would like in your kitchen space that we're going to be designing soon.